Okay.
Okay, the first thing is that this one just some small simple things. Uh, I think yeah. So basically, these two branches. Yeah, you lost gold, right? So that's why you couldn't buy
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah. That's why I
circlet,
just
right?
bought another stats item.
Yeah, I think if you there's no harm just sacrificing the two branches to get the circlet lah. It's fine.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, because what you want to do is you want to actually accelerate the process to getting to the bracer. If you buy the two branches, it's slowing it down because you have to farm more gold, you know?
Mm.
Okay, yeah, so maybe okay, like if like let's say you're going the bracer route, right? Use the branches as the sacrificial items lah. Means if let's say you've lost gold, right? These are the things you buy less instead.
Okay.
Yeah, unless you're a universal hero, but even then, if it's circlet over two branches, it's the same thing, you know? Because circle gives you two stats for all of
Yeah.
it, and the two branches are equivalent to the same lah.
Yeah.
So the only thing maybe you want to consider is in case you want to eat the branches but I think for safe lane you don't really need to think so much, just prioritize these things because
Okay.
usually safe lane the idea is to get out of the lane. You just want to be able to do sufficient to be able to sustain yourself in the lane and then eventually get out lah. So if let's say if your thought process is basically you're gonna use you need the two branches for regen, right? It's actually better to just buy more regen instead of eating these okay. So yeah, you're sending out. What are you sending out? Yeah, you're sending out the full circlet. Sorry, the full bracer. You need to also. So the one thing is try always bring your bracer with a set of tangles. So try to pull that together.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what if I mean I'm a life stealer, so like I don't really need
Okay. That's
like
kind of true lah.
to-
But so generally it's just a habit. It's a habit thing that you do most of the time, right? Even if you don't need the extra set of tangles, you always buy it for security.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like just in case the lane goes bad, right? You don't want to have to sit in lane waiting for regen. That's the thing. So 90
Oh,
gold, the first 90 gold is it's okay lah to bring a set of extra tangos. Your item choices for let's say a lane. Now your hero is basically I honestly think y'all played really well this game. Okay? And like I'm really, really surprised that actually Guardian players can actually play at this level, you know?
yeah.
I'm talking about the overall game, yeah, not just like specifically down to both of y'all. I'm talking about
Mm.
literally everybody, yeah. So everybody is actually like everyone can actually throw spells well, and like um people are actually like what we call it is dual boxing. Means like you're using they're actually beating y'all up together, you know, and y'all are also doing the same, which is quite a good thing, lah. I didn't
Yeah.
expect Dota to be so advanced now. Okay, anyways, um, so what actually separates now you from the rest of the players is going to be down to these small little things that make a difference. The big ones are actually like your item choices, and there's one thing I also noticed. I'll talk about that a little bit later on, but I'll tell you about it now. It's basically it's objectives after you do a certain move. So if let's say like there are a lot of times later I just watched the replay, right, so it's still fresh in my mind. But there are a
Mm.
lot of times where you guys smoke up, then y'all go for a kill, y'all get the kill, but then y'all don't know what to do after that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so what I can do is I can actually drill it down to for you to have a few things that can be based on textbook like
Okay.
yeah, that like you do whatever you do, you always can fall back on these few things as a carry player. And also another thing, I noticed you played a lot of carry in the recent weeks,
Yeah.
so that's really good. That the yeah, so just now when I spoke about decisions, right, that means like let's say y'all make a move and then the next thing to do, so there are two things that usually you want to fall back on lah, okay? And these are quite the default. It's either if your team, okay, the first one is to definitely after you get a kill, you know you're at an advantage, right?
Mm.
Because like y'all have more heroes than they have. And if let's say y'all are kind of grouped up, y'all just want to hit a tower, okay? So just switch a kill straight into an objective. When we
Okay.
say objective, we're usually talking about buildings lah. Okay, so
Okay.
it's either like let's say like give you just a straight up an example. So let's say it's mid game and then like you've reached your first item timing, then y'all smoke up, y'all kill a guy here, right? Just an
Okay.
example, okay? Let's say y'all kill a guy here, then if you kill a guy here, immediately you want to just go push this creep wave in and hit this tower. Of course, that is if the creep wave is like here lah, somewhere
Mm.
here. If let's say the creep
Mm.
wave is here, it will be difficult because if you start pushing from here, by the time y'all reach the tower, the guy that y'all just killed might have already respawned.
Yeah.
Which is actually another thing that I noticed in this game. There was a time where y'all left this small little factor out, and it cost y'all
Okay.
a team fight. So those small things where y'all are actually y'all did so well from the start of the game towards the mid game, and y'all had a lead. But every single time that y'all went into and like y'all destroyed them in one team fight, but then y'all overlook a simple factor, and then it just like it causes the next team fight to go badly, and then
Mm.
they will just tip the network back into their side. It evens it out, lah, basically.
Mm.
Yeah, so we will try to minimize those few errors, and I think at the start it's easier to learn by just playing textbook Dota at the start. Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, so the next thing I want to talk about is basically your item choices. I think this would be easier if you look through it from here. So you went the racer first, that's good. Then your lane was going really well. Y'all were like, I think yeah, y'all had 4 kills in the lane, and this is like 4 minutes into the game. That's pretty insane. And you didn't die. And okay, let's compare it to this guy. So he's dying more. Okay, so in the lane, and yeah, it was like honestly what we call a perfect game lah, somewhat like that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, a perfect game. Um, what do you want to do, right, to improve your lane, right? Have the mindset of, if you're gonna buy small items, make sure the small items contribute to you destroying the lane even more.
Okay.
Okay, if you feel that like the okay, small items examples are like red bands, braces, orb of corrosion. All these are small items like glove of the haze, all that. So if let's say if you buy this, you can continue to dominate the lane, because usually level 1 and 2 it's very who misplays.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes down to like legit. If let's say your opponents fuck up, then you get kills. Doesn't mean that by right this matchup is you're supposed to be winning. It's just that they fucked up, so you saw them fuck up and you took advantage of it, lah. Okay,
Mm.
yeah, but as you gain levels, then now it comes down to separation of items, lah. Means if let's say you were by right the matchup is in their favor, and just because you had a clean early game start, you can maybe buy something smaller now to make sure that they can never, because the matchup is in their favor, but it will never be in their favor anymore, lah.
Yeah.
Okay, an example like for this one, right? So I noticed that, okay, if I accelerate this a little bit, the way you're slapping people is like they are literally just walking into you. Yeah, like you see this guy, he's low, then this guy just oversteps and you're just whacking him, right?
Yeah.
So the problem in this is that it's not really a problem, but like what y'all were actually relying on so much is for them to fuck up. Okay, and
Okay.
yeah, I know you have open wounds, okay, but if you want to extend, like life stealer's main thing is that he needs to chase, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, getting boots was definitely correct. Yeah, that was a very good choice. An early boots is good, but I think you should pair it up with an orb of venom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the orb of venom is something cheap that just helps you improve your early game. So every time you go on this Veno, he's confirmed dead. He won't be able to run away from you.
Yeah.
Like okay, I know y'all killed him a few times, and the reason y'all killed him a few times is because this guy is super tunnel vision on whoever they're going on. You see, he's just looking at this guy. He's looking at Murali.
Yeah.
He wants to go on Murali. Then he doesn't realize that he's putting himself at in danger lah.
Yeah.
And they are these clowns are just diving like with no idea what they're doing lah, but
Yeah.
they're just super tunnel vision on trying to get their kills. Yeah, so if you get the orb of venom, it just helps you ensures that you can chase the guy down. Okay, and
Okay.
honestly, I on life stealer I wouldn't even mind if you went orb of corrosion, because it's actually a
Oh.
good item. Yeah, it's a good item on this hero. It really helps you chase. The attack speed is great on this hero, so it's pretty good. And especially with how much you're dominating in this lane, like your network is just flying up. So if you get this, the phase boots is fine. But if let's say you're going the orb venom route, right, you might want to go just boots, then orb venom straight.
Oh, penetrate.
Yeah, you
Okay.
get the orb venom straight, and then after that you're going corrosion, means you get the corrosion first, then you go back into your phase boots. But if you
Okay.
feel like you're not so sure whether you want to invest so much into a orb of corrosion, you can straight go phase boots as well. That's no harm. But I'm telling you, the attack speed is actually very beneficial, and with how much you can chase, right? If they cannot really get away from you, like they don't have any spells to to run, then it's pretty good. Like a CK has nothing to run, right? He's only got
Yeah.
things to go in. And a Veno, he's gonna press his Q. If as long as you save your Q for when he presses Q, you can always chase him down.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the deal breaker for this for the laning stage lah. I think you could have it could have helped you get a lot more kills. Okay, the other big thing I saw, I don't think you should be taking this facet lah.
Really?
Yeah, I also just checked a few of the pro games and all that, right? Everybody's taking the other facet, and I'll explain to you why as well, okay? They're taking this one.
I feel like this is so good though, because like I can literally like dispel like punch all and like the stuns.
Yeah, yeah, that I understand that, but this actually makes your hero very insane. Okay, but
Oh,
it pairs up with another thing. So Lifestealer's main issue right now throughout the game, right, is that he takes a longer time to get online, which is not the
okay.
case of your game here because you were destroying lah, okay? But
Okay.
generally, he takes a longer time to get online, and it's because he doesn't really have a lot of sustain. So he has to be very careful about how he plays his ultimate. But that's one. And then the other thing is that he needs more items to be more useful lah. And you see, this guy, this hero has a lot of issues. You know, he needs to find ways to get in. So like he's very reliant on having to invest into a teammate that can fly in. So you have your storm here, you can do that. Or yeah, I think it's just a storm. Unless like your shaman gets a blink, then maybe also can lah.
Mm.
But yeah, so usually people take Corpse Eater, and I'll tell you why. So remember I told you on average people are targeting 10 minutes 80 CS, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like if you want to hit that 80 CS, that's already 160 HP lah, okay? Because you get 2 HP for every creep kill.
Oh,
And
okay.
what's up, boys and girls? Just a disclaimer that this video was recorded prior to patch 7.36c. So in this patch, there was a slight nerf to the Corpse Eater facet where the max HP bonus per kill decreased from 2 to 1, and it's no longer increased by when you kill like wards or cogs or whatever. But they also made it so that every hero kill now gives you 5 max health. So basically, yeah, it is kind of a nerf to this facet, but it's still the facet to go to.
Okay.
And I believe denies also count. So let's say you've denied 30 creeps and 80 creeps, means you're already getting about 260 to sorry 210 of HP from that. And so it makes it a lot harder for people to kill you. It changes your game completely because now like the way you can play is not to say a bit more aggressive, but you don't have to worry so much about dying if everyone's collapsing on you lah.
Mm.
Okay, so yeah, so the facet, and I checked in Dota 2 Pro Tracker, right? It's actually 99% of games people take the left one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that is like that should be your bible basically. It's the best
Okay.
way to, yeah, if you're just any hero, like even if you've already played a hero before, right? You just want to
Yeah.
see like these are the few things that you just want to see, like, oh, what people do, so straight up you can know, like, I don't even need to think. Like maybe I can understand what why they're doing it, of course. But like if you want a definite answer early, then you just take the one. But you can always try both
Mm.
to see which one makes a bigger difference. But yeah,
Okay.
so you
So far,
try.
I've
Yeah.
gotten really good results with this facet lah. So
Okay, but
yeah.
now okay, it also pairs up with how you play the game lah. Like how
Yeah.
you're playing the map and all that. Because like the other thing I noticed, your CS chart is very low. So I actually tracked it here. 20 minutes you had 130 CS and you had 1858 HP lah. Okay. So with usually people are averaging 200 CS at 20 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
yeah, yeah. But no, see, that's got not to do with not to, okay, it has something to do with just the decisions you're making throughout the game lah. Means like the fights you're making, but these kind of things are also team based, you know, because you're party queuing, so sometimes somebody might want to do it. So this is the thing that actually I'll explain to you later. It's how you should always fall back onto your remember the two things I spoke about just now? Like either
Yeah.
you hit a tower or you just start hitting creeps. It's always either
Mm.
those two lah, okay? So yeah, okay. So the corrosion, yeah, and then Another thing about this hero for mid-game items, I don't think anyone ever goes a different choice, but actually, when you think of your safe lane heroes, right? If they don't have any abilities to farm, you need to have an item that helps you farm.
Yeah.
And in the game, there's only four items that usually help heroes farm. So
Yeah.
one
Maybe
is, yeah, sorry,
Battle Fury.
yeah, Battle Fury. The other
Uh.
three is Midas,
Oh yeah, my days.
Midas, Maelstrom, and also Radiant.
Yeah.
Basically, they're anything that gives you AoE lah. And the Midas, of course, is just accelerating your net worth and your levels as well. But yeah, so for this hero, you can actually go any of the four routes. It really depends on how you want to play, but most of the time, the pretty standard build is actually to go Radiance.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why people hit creeps a lot more.
I think it's just the way I play Lifestealer. Uh, I don't farm a lot. I just
Yeah.
go because I know that how aggressive I can be as Lifestealer.
Hmm.
So I just go straight either Deso or Eco Saber, and then I can just harass a lot, and I farm through kills. I
Yeah,
think that's the way I feel like. But
but
other heroes, sometimes I go for farming items lah.
okay,
From the start, like any other hero, like Juggernaut, faces Void, I'll go Maelstrom to farm.
okay.
Anti-mage, I'll go Battle Fury, the standard ones lah. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So yeah, now to like actually uh put all of it together. Like just now I was talking about the corpse eater, and then now I'm talking about the farming items, right? So if you consider that route, you actually become stronger. Most like you become actually stronger earlier into the game than you actually think lah. So
Yeah.
maybe the way you have to play for instead like before this, you get your Echo Saber, then you just start running heroes down, right?
Yeah.
So if I okay, let's look at this thing, then we can actually have real time answers. So if let's say you got an Exo Saber at 15 minutes, right? So you
Yeah.
got Echo Saber 14 minutes, and then you just start hitting heroes, and then it gets to your next item in 2 minutes. Yeah, you get your Deso very quick.
Yeah.
Then here it continues to, yeah, you're getting into the agony of sweat. I know what happened here because I just watched it. So here's where a lot of team fights went back and forth, back and forth. Means
Yeah.
the first team fight y'all won, and then y'all went to take the next team fight and y'all lost. Then the next team fight. That's why your network here really slowed down. Okay,
Yeah.
so all this,
Working
right?
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so all of this actually is affected with the fact that you don't have a farming item.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you don't have a farming item. So now because you're missing that item, this is the problem that happens now. You get stagnated here, and it's too slow lah to catch up, and they are catching up very fast. This guy has a maelstrom, right? Yeah, he has a maelstrom, so he is definitely like, yeah, that was his first item lah. So he will definitely farm faster than you. And if you check the network chart, he was accelerating his farm speed just by that lah. So okay, now let me just put it all together so it's a bit more easier to understand. The facet gives you HP, right? And your main idea is to just focus on hitting creeps. You take kills that are easy. So the orb of corrosion maybe will help you get kills, the early game kills. But then there will be this time frame, right? So like maybe if I were to put it into actual time, I think it would be 5 minutes to 15 minutes. Okay, this is where you will be a bit more passive.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're not doing anything other than trying to get your radiance. So you're just hitting creeps and you're avoiding fights. So you're hitting safe lane creeps or jungle creeps, whatever, like all these creeps. And then like if let's say the enemy is playing this top side, right? They usually play a rectangle when the top rectangle, if I think 10 minutes into the game lah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the carry usually will come to top. So in your case, you will play the bottom rectangle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, usually that's how it is. But easiest way is, of course, if you don't want to move around the map, right? So just you can farm this lah. You farm this lane, you push out this wave. Now it doesn't matter whether they come back to get creeps, right? So you just constantly push out the wave, then you go hit this cam here, you kill it. Then if you kill it fast, you go back to this. If let's say the next wave is coming, right? You go back out to push this wave out again.
Okay.
Yeah, if that makes sense. So it becomes a farming pattern. So try to learn these patterns of farming so that it helps you get further into the game lah. So for life stealer, right? If let's say I'm not going to talk about whether you get orb corrosion or not lah, okay? Or
Okay.
would you want to know about that as well?
Sure.
Okay, if let's say like for this lane, right? Um, what you did up until the boots was perfect. Then definitely get the Orb of Venom, and I would actually go into the Orb of Corrosion because it's a CK. It's a CK, and also it's a Veno. So go the Orb of Corrosion because now, right? Yeah, I get it. Like the phase boots actually helps you collapse onto the Venomancer more. Like it's an easier route to get to him, right?
Yeah.
Because you have the phase movement. But if you're hitting the CK, the support is not going to abandon the core, right? He would rather
Yeah.
die for the core. So the main, and of course, it's always better for you to be killing their core, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So if you get the Orb of Venom, it's harder for the CK to fight you because now he can't really run away from you. So
Mm.
yeah, and then if let's say he trying to run away, and then this Veno oversteps to help him, you can just switch targets. Just switch to the easier kill. Always switch to the easier kill that cannot get away from you.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is the this thing. Then of course after the Orb of Corrosion, go back into your face boots. Wand is an optional item only if they have a lot of spell casting in the lane. I wouldn't go wand. Maybe I would just go stick, just a stick, because your
Yeah.
main objective is always to get further and further into the game. So you want to get to your farming items first, lah. Then
Okay.
after these laning items, go straight into the radiance. Okay, and then like
Okay.
you're basically, well, like okay, there are sometimes throughout the game, right, where you make some good TPs, like they are diving here, diving past the tier one. The tier one's alive and they're diving here, and then you TP in. I think your teammates are already, like, a few of them started dying, so you couldn't get the kill, but you went like, okay, let's reevaluate things. So now basically they have 4 heroes here, y'all are 2. This might actually not be a very good TP lah.
Okay.
It would have been better to just hit creeps, because you see, like right now, if you come here, right, there's only two things that can happen. You can get a kill and get out, or you can die.
Yeah, the
And
thing is,
yeah,
before I TP, the Juggernaut wasn't inside on site.
mhm,
You uh
yeah, yeah. If
you saw, like, I'm pretty sure that
you can't
there
see
was
him,
no, yeah, there was no Juggernaut there.
uh-huh.
So didn't expect the Juggernaut to dive in the tower there lah.
Okay, but generally, like if this kind of fights, right? See, like you realize that your thought process is I need to go help, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he assume they will also think the same.
Mm.
Yeah, so they also see like, oh shit, my team's fighting here, I'll try go help. Most of the time, and this is the safe lane of the Juggernaut, so it's easier for him to connect lah to the fight.
Okay.
Yeah, but usually I think if you wanted to TP this, you should have TP'd a little bit earlier.
Okay.
Because like before your heroes start dying, the reason that they are dying is mainly because is because they didn't have the numbers earlier on lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you want to TP, you TP earlier. If you already see that you're losing heroes, right? Then just focus on pushing out the wave, because this is a free tower to hit, and
Mm.
the only time you need to start backing off is once this fight is over.
Mm.
Yeah, that's when they will guarantee be able to fight you. So yeah, so don't unnecessarily TP unless you feel it's a good fight where you can win, and it needs to come with a following objective. Means not hitting a tower, but basically it means if you TP here, you win this fight, then you can at least farm this wave.
Mm.
Farm the creeps here. If you're gonna TP here and you feel like you need to run, right? It's actually quite bad. In a sense, like what I mean by bad is like it's quite bad to your network lah.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, focus on hitting creeps more. So now to just come back to it, the Radiance build, right? Usually once you get Radiance, that's when you wouldn't mind going for a single fight in hopes that you can infest someone that can get you into the fight lah. Okay.
Mm.
Then once you get that kill, you want to fall back onto farming again.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's always that. You do one move, then you go back to farming. You do one move, then you go back to farming. So Dota is basically the textbook thing about it is that you want to always be finding ways to find more farm. And generally it's not something that is easy to do lah. Okay, even people at my rank struggle with it most of the time. I also struggle a lot of times, because there's a lot of times
Mm.
where, like, like I already know, like right now I should be fighting, then
Yeah.
I don't know how to go in because they are not getting out of position. You know, my opponents are not out of position, so I can't just fly in, and then I
Yeah,
waste a lot of time because I'm not doing anything, and then I should be actually hitting creeps instead.
yeah.
Yeah, so